Become a woman with more on her palette. Don't be a woman that just has the same mundane routine where you come home, watch TV, you scroll on your phone, and you have a ton of emotional breakdowns. I can't, oh my God. Hello beautiful people, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we're going to be talking about the power of being delusional. It's okay to be delusional, but you need to think logically and actually do the work. Unfortunately, too many people are delusional and not doing the work, like a miracle or your dreams are just going to fall out of the sky. No, it's not. Oh, God is going to move mountains for me. Well, if you don't do the work, no, he's not, right? So let's get into it today. A lot of you guys are delusional in a way where you have big goals and dreams and you think that they're just gonna magically appear. Your ideal dream man is just gonna magically appear. You are what you attract. Your life is a result of either what you haven't been doing or what you have been doing that is probably hindering your goals and successes or helping you get there. Here's a great example. And we're going to talk about the men in tip number 1 because I recently had a conversation with one of my clients where she's single and she went on a dating app and was just like fishing around. And I was like, girl, this is a distraction. This is not what we need to be doing right now. Delete the app. I had my experiences of going on dating apps and going out looking for love. Sometimes things that appear in front of you because you're desperately seeking is actually a demon, is actually a distraction, is actually toxic. You're not ready to date. And a lot of you guys are not ready to date. A lot of us have high expectations, high standards of men. We want them to be this, we want them to be that. But if you look within, you are not even close to what you expect from somebody else. You need to hold yourself accountable. Women, we are getting out of hand. You are using your men or your friends as punching bags, or you're using your coping mechanisms as punching bags. No one wants to hold themselves accountable to where you need to take yourself, the sacrifices that are necessary that you need to make in order to have a better outcome. A lot of you guys are dating and should not even be dating. You are probably still toxic, unhealed, and out of shape. And I'm so sorry. Out of shape doesn't just mean physically. It could be financially, spiritually, emotionally, mentally. A lot of you guys are relying on terrible coping mechanisms as a distraction that is hindering you from your purpose, that is hindering you from good relationships and connecting with good people, better opportunities, better way of living. I recently had a conversation with one of my clients and I was asking her about her dream man. What is your ideal dream man? If you are single, I want you to write this down because this is so important. Or maybe you're dating and you aren't sure if this is going to be a relationship that works out. I want you to write it down because I'm not sure why you guys think that your dreams and goals and your desires of your heart is not meant for you. I'm not sure why you think that it's so far-fetched, why it's impossible for you, why you can't actually have the fairy tale that you desire. Now, if you desire what you see on the internet, you're doing life all wrong. If you are jealous or if you are envious of what you see on the internet or in your friend's life, maybe all your friends are getting married and they're having children and you envy that or you feel some type of way about that. Your emotions are valid, but we're going to talk about you because it's the inner work that is going to allow you to align and be a magnet to your dreams. A lot of you guys are standing in your own way of your blessing because you don't actually know what you want. You see what is on social media and that is what you want, but you don't even know what those people deal with on a day-to-day when the cameras aren't even rolling. It's important to get really clear about what it is that you want. So I want you to write down what kind of dream partner you would want. And so my client was like, I want him to be fit. And I'm sure a lot of you guys are going to agree with this. You want him to be fit. You want him to be financially stable. You want him to be emotionally intelligent and kind and loyal and stand on integrity and have discipline, have grit, be ambitious. We have all these high standards for other people, but we have low standards for ourselves. Old Shen had low standards for herself. And you know what? I was only attracting men with low standards, men that didn't know what they wanted, men that would just use and abuse me or take up a lot of my time. I'm sure you've been in relationships where you thought it was going to go somewhere, but it turns out you guys were not aligned. And then you flourished a little and ended up in another situation. That's why it's really important to not date. It's important to take your time and raise your standards so that you can actually let God place you in the right rooms and the opportunities and spaces for you to meet good people. And you don't need to date everyone that is a good person. Friendships go a long way, and sometimes even better. A lot of you guys want men or people in your life that are disciplined. You want people in your life to be respectful to you, to treat you well. You want a fit husband. So my client was like, I want a man that is fit, wealthy, ambitious. And my client is very ambitious. And I was like, so you have all these high standards, but do you ever ask yourself, am I living up to the standards that I have set for other people? Once I took high expectations from other people off the table, started living up to my own expectations, oh, my life has been so different because I don't allow anyone or anything around me that is not going to match or top my energy or top what I can do for myself. So I had to raise my standards, raise my discipline, raise my consistency, raise absolutely everything about me. And I'm still working on it. So the people in my life, they have to be working on themselves constantly. You know why relationships usually don't work out? It's because one or both parties got lazy. We stopped showing up the way we did when we first met, right? You were putting in all this effort. You were making sure your place was clean. You were doing the most, taking care of yourself, showing yourself at your best. And then when you got comfortable, people got way too comfortable. They let themselves go, whether it was physically, financially, emotionally, mentally, spiritually. You let yourself go. You let yourself get too comfortable. Now, I promised myself I would never do that ever again when I got into a healthy relationship. And I now make sure that I prioritize raising the bar every single day. Raising the bar. And that is in the little bits of habits that I do every single day that allow me to win as a woman and make me feel empowered, make me feel confident, make me feel good without relying on my man to be my emotional punching bag, right? He doesn't need to give me compliments. I already know I'm fine. I already know I'm that girl, whether he was in my life or not in my life. And so it is so important for you to become the high standard and not to dim your standards for the comfort of anyone else. We need standards, we need rules in this world so there is order, right? And a lot of people, you just want to wake up and let the world control you, control your mind, control your choices. So it's important to mirror your standards. What you want out of this world, what you want or expect from other people, mirror that. You want high value experiences, you want high value people, whether that's friends or a man, then you need to become the person of high value, person that is filled with wisdom, integrity, discipline, grace, love, kindness. You will attract what you are, not just what you want. Number 2, how many people are so delusional and not logical, and you want the best. You want high standards and you want the best, but you're not holding yourself accountable. Let's talk about it. Number 2, you want loyalty, but you offer drama. So a lot of people don't even realize how toxic they are. Now, I'm gonna give you an example of myself. I'm sure in many relationships, my past relationships, I was very toxic. I feel like, especially in my first relationship, I was coming out of a high school, I thrived on toxicity. If we were fighting, I wanted to argue it out just so that we could be like physically in love afterwards. Not really in love, but you know what I mean. And there are just traits within us that allow that there are just traits within us that we have to really pay attention to, because a lot of the times we thrive as women off of drama or thrive off of toxicity, and that is not healthy. I remember having to check myself. No, when a man or a friend has done me wrong, I don't need to try and get even with them. I don't need to argue with them. I don't need to get out of character to prove myself. I just need to remove myself, because when I started to work on myself, I got healthier relationships. As I started to heal, I got healthier relationships and friendships that we don't ever argue. I don't argue with any of my friends. I don't argue with my clients. I don't have fights with people, right? Recently, in this entire year, I've only had a disagreement with one person. Not even road rage on the street. And so I encourage you guys to look for peace and loyalty in your life, but that is going to come with you healing and emotionally checking in with yourself about how you react to certain situations or how you react to people and how you deal with your emotional state. A lot of you guys are a little bit too hard on yourself, where you're always emotionally or mentally putting yourself down. Your words carry weight. If you had to think about your inner dialogue, I want you to take a moment and take this in. If you had to think about your inner dialogue, about how you think of yourself, things you say to yourself or say about yourself, would you be okay with somebody saying that to your child? Would you be okay if I said it to you? The way you think of yourself, if I said it to you, would you be okay? No. Chances are no. If somebody said that to your kid, your inner dialogue to your kid, would you be okay? No. And a lot of the times we don't even realize that we don't even have kindness, loyalty, self-control, love for ourselves, grace for ourselves, but we look for this in other people. It's time to hold yourself accountable on all levels, especially emotional and mental. It's not okay to be toxic with other people. It's not okay to test people or test yourself, or for other people to test you. It's not okay to play mind games with yourself or with other people. It's not okay to flirt for attention when you're in a relationship. It's just not okay to be a toxic person in general. And you got to really check in with your mental and your emotional health and check, maybe I do need healing, and hold yourself accountable. Being delusional is okay. You deserve the greatest things, but not at the cost of your toxicity. Give the respect and the stability that you're expecting from other people. Don't ever ask for emotional maturity from others if you weaponize emotions. Healthy relationships is not going to come through games. Number 3, we're going back to the men. I know a lot of women have high expectations of a provider man. Of course, we want our men to provide, not just financially, but maybe even emotionally, spiritually, mentally, physically. Let's talk about that financial security, but you may be lacking financial discipline. I've seen a few videos on YouTube. I believe the creator Ashley Dalton has brought up some women, and I've seen a few women mention that they want a man that makes over 6 figures and pays for everything. Let's run it back, ladies. Of course, we want a man to provide, but at the end of the day, don't be delusional to your own toxic habits that you need to work on. If you want a man to provide, you need to be financially stable within yourself and for yourself. It's not okay to be financially irresponsible, have no saving, and overspend for clout just to flex, and you have high expectations for a man to be providing. Imagine using that man's money to do absolutely nothing but look the part. That is not enough. You need to have goals before a provider man and have goals during having a provider man. It is so important for you to be able to spend wisely, and also not spend for clout, not spend for flexing. At the end of the day, we're all gonna get old. You wanna make sure that you're securing your future and that you're spending your money and saving your money wisely. A lot of women are out here looking for a safety net or somebody to rescue them. Listen, even being rescued, if you have terrible spending habits, you need to work on them. If you are a shopaholic, you need to work on them. It's honestly not okay. Become a woman that wants to be an investor. Become a woman that really wants to spend her money wisely, that is very smart with her money. A secure woman is going to attract a secure partner. Those men are going to give you the world because they know that you're very financially responsible and independent. Being taken care of starts with taking care of yourself first. I moved cities for love, gave up my job, gave up my financial stability for love, and it didn't work out. I took 2 years to rebuild myself and truly had to learn financial independence. And I encourage women, we obviously want to date men that can provide quality and stability and love and softness within our life, but you also need to be able to do that for yourself. It is not an expectation or an obligation for a man to be the doer only. Be able to be a contributing player as well, and that man is going to love you even more. Number 4, you want to build men, but you do not step into the gym. How many of us are still sitting in our delusion? You have a list of my man needs to look like this, be that, but you don't step into the gym. You don't work out, you're not healthy. We all want a healthy partner. I know if I'm gonna have kids with somebody, I want my kid's father to be healthy and also prioritize their health just for the longevity of the family and just be out of respect for me. Losing my dad at a young age, I looked at my life where I was just like, I really want to be around for my kids, and I want my husband and the father of my children to be around for the children as well and be a leading example of the child. Now, we have so many expectations of what a man should do or be. Women, you need to hold yourself accountable to health, overall health for the longevity of your life and not just for a man. A lot of times people want to change just for a man. You want to become this woman or this person just for a man. You want to be more loyal or loving just for a man. You want to be healthier or you want to be in shape just for a man. Please just start doing it for yourself and become really consistent in your routine. I can't tell you enough how much just going to the gym has changed my life. I never thought that I would be a personal trainer, a bikini Olympian, or even a YouTuber, encouraging other people to join the gym and eat well and take care of yourself. Like I mentioned earlier, I do not eat for pleasure or aesthetics. I eat for fuel. And a lot of you guys are not feeling your best. You have low energy. You're tired all the time. You're lethargic. You're not seeing progress. And it's because you're not showing up to the gym workouts. You're not meal prepping your food. Overall health, you cannot have high standards for a man to be a provider and a protector and this guy that is disciplined within his gym routine and his health and his overall health, and you're over here not even taking care of yourself. I used to be the girl. I remember my first relationship. My man at the time was a bodybuilder and I would come around with a lot of takeout. I was always going through drive-thrus and bringing it to his house. And honestly, now when I smell the foods that I used to buy, this is disgusting. It smells like chemicals, tasted like chemicals, only sat in my body. It didn't do much, didn't provide any nutrients or health, just toxic chemicals in my body. And I didn't really pay attention until the relationship was done. And that's when I started to learn more about my food and nutrition, and then of course got certified. But y'all, there are tons of recipes and easy ways of living, easy ways of maneuvering through your fitness journey online, right? There's also coaches like myself and other coaches that you can work with. And honestly, if you just invested or saw your health as an investment and signed up with a coach, even just to kickstart your life, this will change your life for the long run. And a lot of people don't really realize that 3 months of investing is going to transform your entire life, not just your body in 3 months, but your mind, your habits, your routines, your schedule, the way you are thinking. It will change you because you're unlearning to learn better ways of living. Oftentimes we're so delusional. We want people to take us for who we are. If you have unhealthy habits, there's always going to be a woman out there that is going to be so disciplined, has a lot of self-control, looks good, smells good, looks like she's healthy. There's just always going to be another woman that you are going to be insecure about because of the way that she has modeled her life. Don't give another woman a satisfaction, especially beside your man or on social media, to one up on you. It's about prioritizing your health first, especially if your man goes to the gym or he's in really good shape and he loves his hobbies and he's active. Don't be the girl that is just fragile and weak and you can't really do much. You're underactive. It's not really attractive. A lot of the times we want our men to be this and that and this. Become a woman with more on her palette. Don't be a woman that just has the same mundane routine where you come home, watch TV, you scroll on your phone, and you have a ton of emotional breakdowns. I can't, oh my God, I couldn't have you as my friend. You need to prioritize your own health first, because a healthy lifestyle should not be just one-sided. And lastly here, think about it. Oftentimes when we want our men to accept us for who we are or losing ourselves along the way, unless you had a baby, unless you're a new mother, yes, take some time to fall into a new routine and get back to it. But if you are not a new mom, you have no excuse for why you are not evolving every single day. Lastly here, number 5, a lot of us are expecting king and queen treatment. We're looking to be treated as a queen, seen as a queen, put on a pedestal as a queen. And oftentimes we perform for the internet and not in real life. A lot of you guys are like, oh, I want this, or I desire that, I want this, but behind the scenes, you don't take care of yourself. You want to be seen or treated as a queen, but behind the scenes, you don't prioritize your mental health, your emotional health, your well-being. In real life, you're inconsistent, you're unhealed, you avoid growth, and you're still living within your victim mentality of blaming others. The true opposite of a high-value aura. A lot of people live for presenting on social media, lacking character in real life. It is so important. If you want to be treated like a queen or seen as a queen, work on your real life character. Self-worth isn't just aesthetic. It's how you show up when the cameras aren't rolling or when people aren't around you. Being delusional is fun, but results come from discipline, not fantasy. Social media is always going to create a fantasy for you. It's important to think logically and look at, if I want the best in my life, where can I plant seeds? What can I do to thrive and grow daily? If you want to be seen or treated like a queen by a king, raise your standards and be able to meet your own standards. So I want you to think about it. In the relationships or the friendships or the growth that you would like to see in your life, do you match those standards and expectations that you have for others? Or do you know deep down that you have a lot more work to do? It's honestly about being truthful and holding yourself accountable. Let's get to work. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Be sure to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.